Hey guys, how y'all doing? And welcome to Scott Candle Horsemanship. So today we're here with Jazz. About 4 months ago, Jazz had a pretty bad case of pigeon fever, and we've had a pretty rough winter, so he has not been ridden or handled a whole lot, in at least 4 months. So today's going to be his first ride. Okay, so today I'm just going to show you the steps that I take that kind of get him prepared for this first ride back. We want to make sure, because it is his first time and it's been a while, that we have a fun and safe ride. So through this whole process, we're going to go ahead and analyze him, his behavior, and what he's trying to tell us through every step of the way. The very first thing I want to do is put a halter on him and bring him over and get him groomed up and get him saddled. But I have to be able to watch him, listen to him, and have him tell me if there's any problems that I might need to be aware of. We'll go ahead and get him haltered, brushed up, getting ready for the saddle. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just start getting some of the dirt off of him. He's been rolling quite a bit. I'm going to be looking for some things up here as I'm brushing him down. I'm looking for bites up on his back, maybe that we don't see. He's kind of got some long hair right now, so I don't want to find something that's going to be a sore spot and overlook that, maybe throw my saddle on top of it, and then cause him to have some pain on this initial ride. I want this initial ride to be as smooth, painless, and as fun as possible for both of us. So we're going to get by here, just kind of make sure we got everything's looking good, getting all the dirt, especially where the saddle is going to be, making sure we don't have any dirt on there it's going to rub and make him sore. I might even take and run my hand down his spine here and see if we've got any tight spots or sore spots. I can check down here at the cinch, make sure. I'm going to look at his behavior when I put my hand down here. You know, is he trying to bite? Is he cinchy? How's he acting when I'm doing all this stuff? And you're going to know your horse. You know, if you've had your horse for a while, you're going to know the characteristics. So anything that you see that's out of character for your horse, you know, pay that some attention and try to find out what's going on. When I first started to work with this guy, he had a problem where he would bite when he was extremely cinchy. He would want to bite and kind of kick up his back foot at you when you were cinching him up. We've kind of worked through that. So, okay, so we're going to also, obviously we're going to clean his feet out, but because it's been all winter, he's probably got some thrush, he's probably got some mud, maybe some debris up in there that we want to make sure we get out of these feet before we ride. And we can also look for any abnormalities that he may have. It's a good time to check the feet. We've had a lot of rain and snow the past few months, and so these feet are really soft right now. And it's kind of easy for them to get a stone bruise running around on the ice and the uneven ground. So I'm also going to be aware here while I'm doing these feet, if he's having a hard time holding his feet up, if he's kind of reluctant to pick his foot up, if that's unusual. Realize he's having a hard time holding maybe a back foot up. Maybe he's got something went out with his hip and we don't know. We're trying to err on the side of caution here to make sure that nothing happened over the winter that we can't kind of work through. But we definitely want to go through our blanket. Before I throw this pad on here, I want to run my hand on here and make sure that there is nothing stuck to it that's going to pinch him or cause him pain that will cause me pain later, because I don't. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and throw the saddle up on here now. I may have to adjust this saddle. He may have gained weight over the winter. Maybe he lost a little bit of weight. So what I'm going to do is get the saddle up on there. We're going to check the cinch the same way we check that saddle pad, make sure there's nothing stuck to it. And then we're going to go ahead and make our adjustments to make sure everything is fitting correctly. another deal. If they normally are really good about saddling, you throw that up and they flinch, you know, maybe try to figure out what's going on. Maybe they're just tight up in their back. Maybe they need to warm up a little bit first. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing here. Like I said, make sure we don't have anything in this cinch that's going to pinch or stick this guy. Okay, so I know this is going to be a video about getting this horse warmed up for riding, but I just want to make sure everyone knows, and I'm sure you guys do know this. Push the saddle pad up in that gullet as far as you can, because when you tighten him down and when you get up on him, you're going to push that down, and even this soft saddle pad right across the withers can make his wither sore. Okay, so I'm going to cinch this up probably about 3 or 4 times before I get up on him and ride him. I don't need to get up here and cut him in half and then just climb on him. Again, we're trying to make everything as positive as we can on this very first ride. Now is I'm gonna, again, before I turn him loose here, I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of snug up that cinch just a little bit. And I'm gonna look to see what he does. I'm gonna evaluate what he does. Now you can tell that he's pretty explosive and he's ready to kind of blow at any moment. But he's actually very mellow today. So I may just kind of walk over and see what he does. Again, I'm not asking him to follow me. I'm kind of just walking around and seeing if I can pick up that connection. If he can stay connected to me, then I know we're in a good spot. So he did really well right there. I'm not too worried about it. He's a little bit lazy today. I'm not going to worry about that little bit of laziness today. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start to move him, and I'm going to evaluate and see, is he connected with me when he's moving? I don't have to be in a hurry on this stuff. I'm going to get myself ready before I start to actually ask him. I want to have a clear picture in my mind what I'd like him to do. I want to have my rope ready, but what I'm going to do is ask him with a cue, and that cue is just going to be a point. It's going to be very relaxed, and this is going to be me saying, I'd like you to go that way. This, I've got the tail end of this rope that I can swing and apply some pressure to actually have him drive and move forward. And I'm looking for, when I first do this, I'm looking for his shoulder to step over and away from me. So he just doesn't walk straight this way like he might. Ask him to move here. I'm looking for that shoulder to step over. If I don't, there we go. If I don't, I'm going to apply a little bit more pressure till it does. So he's kind of close in here. That's okay at this point. Once he kind of gets perpendicular to me, I'm going to go ahead and stay back here kind of at his hip and be at a little bit of an angle, driving kind of where the stirrup is there. Take a step back, and that's going to be my test to see if he's still with me. And he passed that test. Didn't come in here and crowd me. He just kind of came right up, did exactly what he's supposed to do. And I'm going to switch hands, get myself ready, and ask him to go off this way. I didn't even have to pick my drive. A little close there, but I didn't have to pick my drive up too much on that. If he was really crowding me, I've had horses really, if they're disrespectful, would kind of run right through you or go really close by you and almost bump into you. Again, I'm looking, he's kind of going the wrong way. Doesn't matter, I'm not going to get mad at him. I'm going to back up and I'm going to draw him, get him back to me, and get that shoulder to step over like I asked. So I don't want to stop my cue until I get the result. All I had to do was point, that was kind of good. Ask him again. So you see his ears kind of go back a little bit. It tells me he's not really super happy about going into that trot. I keep working with it. I don't care if it just takes a few tries and goes back to walk right now. And we're trying to get these feet to kind of get unstuck. His mind, being that it's a little bit lazy, thinks that he wants to go slow. So we're just going to unstick those feet, unstick that mind, have him just wake up just a little bit. I'm waiting for him to kind of free up these feet, keep going. And then I'll ask him to bring it down to a walk. I want him to know if he just does what I've asked him to do, he'll be able to go back to that walk, which is where he wants to go. See, I really like how he's responding. I mean, I'm not having to drive him at all into this trot. I really like that. That's a willingness, but the ears going back are telling me he's willing, but he's not real happy about it. That will go away. You know, a lot of times when we get into these round pens and we push these horses around, they can kind of get resentful of all that pressure, especially if we don't release the pressure when they do what they think we're asking them to do. And eventually he's going to figure out that every time he goes back to a walk, or when his mind says he should go to a walk, I ask him to trot. But when he frees his feet up and he just trots, I'm going to ask him to walk. Go ahead and walk. I'd like to make that choice before he does. Okay, so we could repeat this process of having him go around and move and run the round pen with going into a canter. Now, I don't really feel that need for him to do that. And the reason why is because it was really easy for me to get him to go into a trot. All I had to do was pick my cue hand up and he went into that trot. If I would have had to really drive him into that trot, then I might try to push him a little bit more. At some point I want to see how much pressure I need to put on him, or if I put a lot of pressure on him, how he reacts to that. He's doing everything right today. I can't fault him for anything that he's done. He made one mistake, I think, and went the wrong way. But other than that, he's doing really well. So because this is just a first ride, I believe where he's ready to bridle and we can go ahead and climb up on him.
Great.
Okay, so we just bridled him up. He took the bit fantastic. That's something else that I want to look at. If your horse has always been good about taking the bit and all of a sudden they're not, then we might want to start looking at maybe a tooth issue or something that's happened over the winter time. I don't see any issues. He's got his head down. Don't really see any problem there. So I like that. He's handling everything really well. Okay, so now since we're up on him, but we're going to go ahead and do some lateral flexing. I want to make sure I've got some control of my horse. Go ahead and, keep a nice loose rein here. Make sure my reins are even. And we're going to go ahead and start picking up this one rein at a time and just kind of check our lateral flexibility, making sure that he's soft and he's giving to us and it's not a problem for him. When we moved him off and he kind of put his ears back, that told me that was a little bit of a problem to him. I don't want to have those same issues. We don't want to be adding problem on problem. So if I pick this up and his ears go back and he kind of tightens up that neck, then I'm going to start figuring out there's something going on that's adding to that problem. He's getting a little bit more bothered. But as you can see, he's flexing and doing great. One of the things I know this horse had done in the past was he tried to bite your foot when you climbed up on him, and even asking him to move forward, if you just put a little leg on him, and he would tend to lay his ears back and try to really swing his head around and bite your foot. So I'm going to move around up here, get him ready to feel me moving around. No, I like that. His head came down really nicely. After we've done our lateral flexion, I'd like to see how much of a vertical flex I can get. I want to see if he can kind of just come off this bit just a little bit. Bring his head down. Right there, I'll take that. Because I want him just to relax. Every time I pick these reins up, I want him to relax. I don't want him to start to get nervous because he thinks, oh, I'm going to ask him to do something and maybe he'll get in trouble if he doesn't do it correctly. So, okay, he's not perfect at his lateral flexion yet, but he's pretty good. This is our first time again back, so he's got to remember what all this feels like. I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to ask him to disengage his hindquarters. So I want to be able to have that so that I've got that kind of clutch. I can take that power away from this horse if I can get the hindquarters to step around. But I'm just going to get this nose to tip a little bit here. Get him to get his attention back this way a little bit. And I'm just going to ask for this. This hip will step around. There we go. Good. I want to have some, I feel like I've got a little bit of control. It kind of came up a little, so just gently pick that up, back down. I want to make sure I've got a little bit of control so that if something does go a little bit sideways, I might be able to work him through it. Very nice. I'm just going to kind of wait for him to kind of stop fidgeting. So. And that's something that I'll do. Obviously, if he were more disturbed and really having a problem with this, I would do more of that until he started to soften up. I'm looking for that softness. I'm looking for him always just to have that peace in his mind. I'm just going to see now, can he walk off my legs? As soon as he took that step forward, I went ahead and released. And now I'm just riding in rhythm with him. He still feels me riding, so that's why he's moving forward. He got a little choppy there, kind of wanting to stop in the middle. He kind of wants to come in here to the middle to stop. I'm just going to ask him to go again. Just a really light little squeeze. Now I'm going to stop riding here. I like that. Sure I can get a softness in him when we make these turns. Again, I'm just guiding him where I'd like him to go. I'm just setting it up for him to find it. And when I lift this rein up, I'm just setting this up. I'm not forcing his head to go that way. I'm just suggesting let's put our attention over this way. I'll pick this rein up and suggest that he goes this way. And we'll set up a stop. Bring his head down. There's a nice big sigh. He's handled that. This is not a day to really reprimand him or really to start working on something tough. This is just a day to get him to understand that when we climb up on his back, all he needs to do is listen and everything is going to be really easy. My job is to see how easy I can ride him. He's paying attention to me. He stops riding when I stop riding. I like that. So we can do these transitions of walk, stop, walk, stop. Which helps him to stay focused and stay connected to us. I'd like to see if he could do that with his head down a little bit better. But step back. And this is very soft. Very nice. Okay guys, this has been a really great day for his first day back. I'm really proud of him. We could have done a lot more, but like I said, this is a building deal. I want him to be able to look forward to riding next time we go out. Yeah. Okay guys, so that was a great day with him. I really am proud of him. You know, we could have done more, but I'm real happy with just what we did today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it helped. If it does, please like, subscribe. Have a great one. We'll see you later.